All right, Dane, how to create a pivot table in Excel. You have two packing lists that you're trying to combine. Okay, so what I did is you download them based on how you get them off your email. I don't have it open right now, but I already downloaded them to my drive, so I have them set side by side on Excel. The first one is the large one, right, which is all your 1440084. And then your second one is the smaller one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the smaller one, obviously. So you just highlight the section that you want to copy, you right click and you copy it. So now you go back to the original one that you want to put all the data in, which is the large one. You go right underneath there and you paste it. So now you have data. But in order to do what we're trying to achieve here with the pivot, you got to make the data specific to what the information is. So what you do is, to keep it separated by trip, you highlight everything all the way down to the last palette, which is your 24 palette. On your keyboard, you hit Control D. That's copy down. It's going to bring all the data from the first cell that you pick and you bring it down. You got to do the same thing with the numbers. It's going to be tedious because it's a lot of data, but once you have it clean, it makes your life easier. So as you can see, all I'm doing is dragging down the palette number, because the way they set up their data is they put the data right on top instead of putting it right next to it, but then that gives it the specific dimensions and weight. But we want this to tie onto the style, because at the end we really not going to use the dimensions. This is a little slow because I have one hand on the camera and then one on the mouse and keyboard at the same time. All right, that's your first shipment, the 1440084. You do the same. You just click on there and you drag down. And this is so you know which shipment it is. Control D will copy down. The same here. Control D will copy down. Control D will copy down. Right? All right, so now your data has all been separated by palette number and by trip. All right, so in this instant, what you need to do is you need to grab all the data that you want to work with, right? And then copy it all the way to the top. You right click, you copy. Then you go to your notes on Excel. On the bottom, you just type in notepad, and what this does is that it grabs any formulas that are in the Excel sheet and it cleans it out. It leaves it at a clean slate. So now this notepad, all it's gonna do is you hit Control, you get to the corner of the notepad, and then you hit Control V which is to paste. And now you see that it pastes all the data that you copied from your Excel file. So what you do here is you hit Control A, and that selects everything on the notepad that you just placed on there. But what it's doing is eliminating all formulas, all Excel formats, everything off of it. You right click and you copy it. Okay? So now with this process, this is exactly what you need. You want to go ahead and create an Excel. You go to File, and then you create yourself a new blank workbook. So now this is clean, it has nothing on it. It's all for that data that you want to do the pivot table. You get to A1, which is A1 cell, and then again, Control V, you paste all your data, okay? So your data is all pasted onto one spreadsheet clean, right? Now, to create the pivot table, which is just grabbing all the data and it's going to combine it for you. You go to Insert, which is the tab on Excel. You click on Pivot Table, which is right there. Click on Pivot Table. And let me see if I could zoom in a little better. And then from Table Range, which is the selected range. And then this pops up. And it's telling you the sheet, the data range that you have selected. And this is very important. You're gonna make sure you put it on a new worksheet, which is gonna open up a tab down here in the bottom somewhere. So you hit OK. And then you get a new tab right here, which is your sheet 2. And then you're gonna see a blank data form. Then to the right of it, you're gonna see everything that you highlighted it by the header. So you wanna separate the trip, you wanna separate the pallets, and then you wanna separate the material, which is the style, and then again, the quantity, okay? So now you have the sheet. So if you look down below, you need to differentiate your values here. So you're gonna have to just move the pallets over to the right, and then that should give you the data that you need. So here it goes, that's the way it breaks down. So it tells you the row, the pallet number that we know it's underneath, and then the trip that it came under, and then the quantity under that pallet. So if we go, for instance, on this style, in pallet 1 you have 4, in pallet 7, 12, etc., to a total of 96 just for this style alone. And then it tells you the trip numbers that it came under. So at the end, this whole data is combined for you. All right, hope it helps. Talk to you.